Hi, this is Denise Thompson. I'm the Registered Dietitian at Alcona Health Center, and today I'm going to be talking to you about what to look for when we're reading a food label. What's important, what's maybe less important, and just clarify some different things that may be confusing to you on the food label. So today we're going to be comparing and looking at two different products. So one product we're going to be looking at are veggie straws, and the second product we'll be looking at a little bit later for just comparison's sake are Harvest Snaps. Okay, now I am not promoting one product over another. We're just going to be comparing the nutrition label. So let's get into it. Okay, so when we are looking at a food label, the first thing we're going to start with is the serving size. It's really important for us to know how much food we're actually talking about. It could be the whole package, or in the case of the veggie straws, we're only talking about 36 straws, and there are 7 servings in the entire 7-ounce bag. Okay, so once we know how much food we're talking about, then what we're going to bump down to is we're going to look at calories. We do want to have a basic idea of about how many calories are in that serving. If you know how many calories you're shooting for per day, this number is going to be enlightening for you. If you don't really know how many calories to shoot for per day, that's something that you can talk to your healthcare provider about. There's also good nutrition calculators on the internet if you know what you're looking for. If that was something you wanted to look at, the one I would recommend is the Mifflin-St. Jean equation. Just Google it and it'll pop up. Calculator.net is where I like to go. So moving on from calories, the third thing that I like to look at is I actually bump halfway down the label and I look at total carbohydrate. And the reason that I like to look at that third is because I want to know the quality of the carbohydrate in the product that I'm looking at. So when we're looking at this food label, there are 16 grams of total carbohydrate in this product. Now, to be simplified, there are 3 different types of carbohydrates. There is dietary fiber, total sugar, and the third one, which is typically not on the food label, is starch. Those are all types of carbohydrate. Sugar is the basic building block. A chain of sugars is starch, and a very long chain of sugars are fiber. The significance of fiber is that we don't digest it, so it doesn't turn into sugar in our body, and it doesn't necessarily convert into calories. Fiber is really great for us. It lowers our cholesterol and it gives your colon a good scrubbing and comes out the other side. So the amount of fiber that women need per day is at least 25 grams. The amount that men need per day is about 30 grams. We can see out of these 16 grams of total carbohydrate, only one of them is dietary fiber. So this product is not high in fiber. It's also not high in sugar. There's 0 grams of sugar in this product. But what it is saying is 16 of them are total carb because only 1 is fiber. The remaining 15 grams are starch, and starch does convert into sugar once it's been digested in our stomach and our small intestine. So the rest of it will absorb into our body as sugar. Moving on, the next thing that I would look at, if we're looking at a product that's processed, so if we're looking at something that's not a fresh or frozen fruit or vegetable, is sodium, to see how much salt has been added to this product. This product has 210 milligrams of sodium in it. Now, foods with less than 230 milligrams of sodium can be considered low sodium, and a product can be labeled low sodium if it has less than 140 milligrams. So this one's not too bad, but depending on how much you're going to eat and what else you're eating during the day, this really could contribute to a high sodium intake for the whole day. Depends on what else you're eating. Something I have not yet mentioned is percent daily value. Now, as a dietitian, I really do not look at percent daily value. I truly consider percent daily value to be as significant as movie descriptions on streaming services. It gives you a short little picture. It's sort of accurate, but not necessarily. Percent daily value is based on a 2,000 calorie diet, and the vitamin and mineral content is based on the needs for males. So it really doesn't pertain to a large percent of the population. It varies so widely, I don't even bother looking at it. I would rather look at the grams of nutrient in the food, or the micrograms if we're looking at the vitamins and minerals, and I like to go off of that. Percent daily value can be helpful when we're looking at the vitamins and the minerals, though. If a product has more than 10% daily value, it can be a good source. And if it has more than 20% daily value, it is a great source of that vitamin or mineral. And then the last thing that I like to look at when looking at a food label is the ingredient list. I really want to know what's in this product. So this here is potato starch, potato flour, vegetable oil, a couple other oils. There is some sugar in it, and then it's got the veggie powder in it. Note how the veggie powder are the last ingredients. In my opinion, the powder is really just added in there, one, so they can call this veggie straws and we can feel like we're eating vegetables, but two, it's really coloring the chips. So for me, it's a natural food color. Looking at this ingredient list, I actually consider veggie straws more just like a baked potato chip, not necessarily, it is absolutely not a serving of non-starchy vegetable. And so I do consider it just another type of chip, not really better than really any other chip. It's not giving us fiber. It's not giving us really much for protein. It still has the fat content and it still has the sodium content that we're going to get in other types of chips. Now, I told you we were going to compare this to a different type of veggie chip, and that's where the Harvest Snaps come in. Now, if this is a product that you have the money to purchase, these lightly salted Harvest Snaps truly are more like a veggie chip. If we're to look at these, we can see that the serving size is about 22 pieces, which is comparable to the 36 straws. It might be about the same weight in food. Yeah, 28 grams, it is the same weight in food. We bump down to the calories, exactly the same, 130 calories per serving. But the difference comes in when we look at sodium. The Harvest Snaps only have 75 milligrams of sodium in them. They're definitely a very low sodium product. The total carbohydrates are the same, 16 grams carbohydrate. So at face value, it looks the same. But when we look a little bit deeper, we can see it's clearly not. The dietary fiber in the Harvest Snaps is 4 grams. And that's because these are peas. Peas are a high fiber food, potatoes are not. So there are 4 grams of dietary fiber in this product. That means that the remaining 12 grams of carbohydrate are starch compared to 15 grams of starch in the chip. These are a little bit more nutrient dense for us. There's still no sugar in this product, and it has 5 grams of protein. So overall, the macronutrients, protein, carb, and fat are a lot more balanced in the Harvest Snaps compared to the veggie straws. It's going to be a little bit better blood sugar balance if that's a concern for you. And it's certainly going to be much better on blood pressure if sodium and blood pressure is a concern for you. The other thing that we can see on this product is that it does have a little bit more vitamins in it, and that's because, again, these are peas, not potatoes. So it's got 4% daily value of calcium. It's got 6% daily value of iron. That daily value for iron, again, remember, this is based on the number of nutrients that males need. So if you are a menstruating person, you need 18 milligrams of iron. So it's not 6% daily value for you. It's 0.9 divided by 18, which give you the percentage on that. And then 200 milligrams of potassium. Who would have guessed that the peas have more potassium than the potatoes? This is a really great thing if you are a person that doesn't have any sort of kidney disease. Americans actually need more potassium in their diet. It's actually good for helping balance our blood sugar. The only people that really need to be cautious of their potassium intake are people that have a chronic condition in which potassium is a concern, which really is not the general public. Then the last thing, bumping down to the ingredient list. This has a really simple ingredient list. It's peas, oil, salt, rice, calcium carbonate, and then the rosemary extract. There's really very few ingredients in this chip. So when we are comparing two products, these are the things that I like to look at. These are the things that are important to me. This still can be pretty confusing. And so some good resources for you if this is of interest to you is to download and use the Fujicate app or the Yuka app. These two apps will help us grade food products so you can compare them to each other to see what the better food product is. Fujicate likes to grade food on an A to D level, A being the most healthy and D being the least nutrient dense. Fujicate graded the veggie straws as a C- versus it graded the Harvest Snaps as an A. I don't necessarily agree with A. I would grade peas as an A. Harvest Snaps, if it was me, I don't know, I'd probably put them at a B plus or minus, I don't know, B. And then the Yuka app I don't use, but that will grade our food products on a 0 to 100 scale. So it's a lot more specific because the grading system is much wider. So that's another app that you can download and use, and you just scan the barcodes on your products and can see, is one food product better than another? I love to use it for comparing different products. Thank you so much for your attention today. Hopefully you found this video entertaining, fascinating, and enlightening, and we'll see you next time.